In the day's other news, Wall Street storm passed another milestone led by tech and healthcare stocks. The Dow Industrials soared 322 points to close well over 26,000. That's just 8 days after it first passed 25,000. The Nasdaq rose 74 points and the S&P 500 added 26. Republican Senator Jeff Flake of Arizona denounced President Trump today for his attacks on the news media. On the Senate floor, Flake said using terms like fake news and enemy of the people recalls the Stalinist era in the Soviet Union.
It is a testament to the condition of our democracy that our own president uses words infamously spoken by Joseph Stalin to describe his enemies. This alone should be the source of great shame for us in this body, especially for those of us in the president's party, for they are shameful, repulsive statements.
The White House dismissed Flake's criticism and said that he's just, quote, looking for some attention. It turns out the White House directed its former chief strategist, Steve Bannon, not to answer various questions yesterday before the House Intelligence Committee. The focus was possible collaboration between Russian officials and the Trump campaign. The Associated Press reports that Bannon's attorney relayed the questions on his phone in real time to the White House counsel's office. Presidential Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said today that it's all part of exercising executive privilege.
This time it was something that was relayed via phone and again was following standard procedure for an instance like this, and something that will likely happen again on any other number of occasions, not just within this administration, but future administrations. Jordan.
The House Intelligence Committee is now moving to subpoena Bannon and compel his testimony. It is also reported that Bannon has now agreed to be interviewed by special counsel Robert Mueller without a subpoena. President Trump charged today that Russia is helping North Korea obtain crucial supplies and evade sanctions. In an interview with Reuters, he said, quote, what China is helping us with, Russia is denting. The president also warned that the North is, quote, closer every day to being able to fire a nuclear-tipped missile that can reach the U.S. North and South Korea have agreed to form a unified team for next month's Winter Olympics hosted by the South. Their athletes will march together during the opening ceremony and form a joint women's ice hockey team. The two nations have been holding high-level talks to ease tensions. Today, the president of South Korea hailed the developments.
남과 북이 함께
If the South and North form a unitary team and participate in the Olympic Games, I think it will become an historic moment. Not only Koreans, but people from all over the world will be moved to see such an historic moment. It will be a great start to resolve inter-Korean issues.
The Korean agreement must still be approved by the International Olympic Committee. A former CIA officer is being linked to a major loss of U.S. informants inside China. Jerry Chun-Shing Lee was arrested Monday night in New York. He's officially charged with having names and phone numbers of CIA informants and other secrets. The New York Times reports that China began hunting down U.S. informants in 2010. In Syria, the leading Kurdish party appealed to the UN Security Council today to prevent an attack by Turkey. That came as Turkish tanks deployed along the Syrian border. The Turks insist that a Syrian Kurdish militia backed by the U.S. is linked to Kurdish rebels inside Turkey. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said today that the U.S. military will remain in Syria for some time to come. Back in this country, the aftermath of a winter storm paralyzed parts of the Deep South again today. A thin layer of snow and ice wreaked havoc on the region's roads, and Louisiana, Georgia, and North Carolina all declared emergencies. Western North Carolina got 8 inches of snow.
Snow's pretty, but don't be fooled. You don't have to brave the roads if you don't have to, and we don't want people to get in trouble. We know from our state troopers that accidents can happen when we have snow and ice on the road.
In Louisiana, New Orleans had a record low of 21 degrees. Hattiesburg, Mississippi also broke a record with 13 degrees. At least 10 deaths are being blamed on the storm. The state of Michigan has awarded $1 million to a Detroit man wrongfully convicted of murder. Desmond Rick spent 25 years in prison. He was released last May after new tests showed that the bullets from the victim's body did not come from Rick's gun. He accused Detroit police of switching the bullets. Democrats have scored another election upset in a Republican stronghold. It happened Tuesday in Wisconsin. Patty Shockner beat out Republican Adam Jarko in a special election for a state Senate seat. President Trump won the district by 17 points in 2016. Former Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole accepted the Congressional Gold Medal today, Congress's highest honor. House and Senate leaders presented the medal at the Capitol to the longtime member of Congress and Republican presidential candidate. Dole, in turn, gave the credit to those who worked for him.
I've always said that you're no better than your staff, and I thank them for all they've done for me over the years.
Dole is 94. He represented Kansas for 35 years, first in the House and then in the Senate. And one of the world's leading AIDS researchers, Matilda Krim, died on Monday at her home in New York State. Krim was a geneticist who led the drive against AIDS when it surfaced in the 1980s. She warned against hysteria over how the AIDS virus spreads, as in this NewsHour interview from 1985.
It is not contagious at all through casual interaction with people in normal social conditions, such as living in a household with a patient, or meeting patients on the bus, or on the working place, or in school.
Matilda Krim was 91 years old.